Hey everyone, you're listening to The Public Affair with me, Andrew G. I see someone different every episode, but do me a favor, keep it between us. Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy Andrew G, and welcome to episode 37 of my podcast, The Public Affair. I can't believe 37. That's so crazy. Thank you guys all for your support. I really appreciate it. And of course, to Rogue Media Network for everything that you guys do. My boy Mike Hamilton, Aaron's out there. They're behind the scenes doing everything, all the editing. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Before we get started with this really exciting episode, I want to definitely give a shout out to a few of our sponsors of The Public Affair. Of course, this episode is brought to you by Arjon Painting with my boy Juan Arjon. He's a family-owned local paint company that specializes in residential homes, both interior and exterior. He offers the best quality guaranteed. And if you need your home painted, of course, you're not going to call anybody besides Arjon Painting. So thank you so much, my boy Juan Arjon, for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. To Marcos Cordero with Midway Nutrition. He's located on Hewitt Drive. He has meal replacement shakes with tons of different flavors. And if you're looking for a little bit more of a healthier lifestyle and some meal replacement, you definitely got to hit up my boy Marcos Cordero with Midway Nutrition. He also has Waco Nutrition and Energy on Spades. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. To my boy Frank Biza with B&J Refinishing. He focuses on the resurface of bathtubs, counters, sinks, tiles, and more to original showroom quality. 5-year warranty on most work and has the best prices in town. And you know, my boy Frank does not stop because he also has Co-Town Tint, which is a mobile tint and detailing business, and he offers the best high quality film and products and will be all competitor prices. So if you guys need any of that work done, make sure you hit up my boy Frank Biza on the number on the screen. Of course, to Pollo Box and Audio with Jeffrey Monreal, Public Affair alumni. He focuses on the installation of stereos, door speakers, and audio systems. Thanks for that backup camera, by the way. He also specializes in building custom subwoofer enclosures and much more. He's kind of a jack of all trades. He kind of can do it all. So big shout out to Jeffrey Monreal. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, to David Santabanez with Alinea Real Estate. He's the #1 sales agent in his office to help you buy a home or sell your home. Make sure you follow him on Facebook at David with Alinea or call the number on the screen, darling, for all your real estate needs. He loves when I say that. I don't know why. And of course, to Four Brothers Construction with my boy Joe Olvera. He provides custom home designs and renovations. He also focuses on plumbing, roofing, tree removal, electrical work, and so much more. So if you guys need any of that done, make sure you hit my boy Joe Olvera on the number on the screen. Joe, thank you so much for all your support with The Public Affair and for sponsoring. More to come later. All right, guys. So I'm really excited about this episode. I've got another queen on this one, darling. You know, you guys say that I don't get enough queens, so I had to go scoop another one out of town. I have KXXV News Channel 25 queen, Miss Lindsay Liepman. How you doing? Woo! Did I say your name right? It's Lippman, right? Okay.
You're the one person in the entire world that said my name right.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah. I've been practicing for like a week.
You did great. I'm so excited to be here,
well, I'm really happy. Well, thank you for coming because you also let me know that you do watch The Public Affair. So that was really cool. Yeah.
I loved Mary Jane's episode, especially. That's my girl.
Okay, I got you.
So I was happy. I love how you have different people. You never know who you're going to talk to. And I love your interviewing style. So I can't wait to see what you're going to ask me.
And I appreciate you saying that because I'm just over here doing me. You know what I mean?
And that's what I like about it.
Yeah. So
it's just a relaxed conversation with alcohol.
I said absolutely, and I say no scripts, no rehearsals, no nothing.
Exactly.
Yes. So I'm really happy to know that you watch it. Obviously, you have a really big name for yourself in the news industry, and you know to know that somebody like you watches The Public Affair really means a lot to me. So I really appreciate it.
I enjoy it.
Now, Lindsay, of course, is a country girl, so she wanted alcohol. Mind you, it's 10 in the morning while we're recording. So what better way to do this than mimosas, darling? Am I right?
Exactly. Yes. Well, I said usually I drink light beer, but let's do a mimosa.
Let's just do a mimosa. Yeah, I love mimosas. So as soon as I can,
just don't hit me in the face.
Got it.
That's my moneymaker.
Mine too. I have other moneymakers too, but we shouldn't discuss that right now because you're married. So. And I'm not into chicks. So anyway, I'm going to pour up the mimosas and then we're going to take a cheers.
Technically, I'm engaged. I'm not.
Okay. My bad. Oops. Don't mean to be throwing titles out there. Oh, wait. I don't have enough champagne in my glass, darling. Hold on.
Okay, yeah, you need more.
I need a little bit more. My friend, shout out to Jay. He makes what's called a J-mosa. And it's basically like this much champagne and then just a tad bit of,
just a dash.
I'd be sweating. Yeah, I would go on the air on Power 108. Sorry, Jimmy. But oh shit.
Oh no.
I would be. That's okay. It's an old tablet. Oh my God. Okay, we're just making a mess.
You know, one time I accidentally spilled orange juice in my high school chemistry class, and I ruined the VHS tape collection that the teacher had. He'll never let me forget that.
Oh shit, my bad. Okay, so I made a mess. I'm sorry, Mike.
Okay, you're good.
Here we go. Yeah, I promise I didn't drink before the show. I decided I was going to stop doing that because I would start sweating on all my old episodes. Watch them seriously. Okay, so which one is mine? This one's yours?
No, that one's yours.
Okay, so let's cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, oops, sorry.
Thank you, Andrew.
All right, let's get started. And this is an old tablet, so I'll just buy another one when I'm done. Okay, so,
I think it's okay.
Yeah. All right, so Lindsay, let's go ahead and get started. So why don't you introduce yourself to people who may not know who you are, which, whatever.
Absolutely.
And while you do that, I'm going to clean up this orange juice, but go ahead.
Okay, I do hear from people that they don't watch the news.
Okay.
I know it's been a little depressing lately.
Yeah, definitely.
And I do try to bring some smiles to people's faces.
Yeah,
but I am a news anchor at 25 News, which is
Hey.
KXXV in Waco, Temple, Killeen, Felton, and it's KRHD in Bryan College Station. And so I've been doing this for 19 years.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, but I'm from this area. So
Okay.
my last stop was in Austin,
Yeah.
and they asked me, do you want to come back to your hometown market?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I'm not free.
Yeah. So you were down. Like,
Yeah, I was
okay.
like, yeah, if we can make it work, let's do this.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I came back in 2018. So
Okay.
it's been a few years.
So you were born in Waco, is that correct? Or?
I was actually born in Kansas.
Oh, okay.
Then my parents got divorced. My dad is originally from Kansas. My
Yeah.
parents got divorced, and I was raised in Texas my whole life. So we moved to Mejia when I was 5.
Oh, shit. I'm sorry.
Hey, what are you trying to say?
Nothing, darling.
I'm
No.
a proud Mejia Black Cat, okay?
Shout out to Mejia, definitely.
Sounds like you've been there.
I'll tell the story in just a little bit.
Okay.
Listen, as soon as the champagne bottle goes down, it's going to get a lot more interesting in here,
All
Lindsay,
right.
okay?
Yeah, the cameras aren't rolling. That's what
you
I tell
said you
people.
watched the show, so I warned you. Okay?
Yeah.
You know what? So how was life for you growing up? I mean, obviously you said that your parents were divorced. Was that hard on you, or?
Well, for me, I'm the kind of kid, like my parents divorced when I was 6 months old.
Oh.
So I was never
It was
in a
just like-
household with a mom and a dad together.
Gotcha.
So it was my older brother and myself, my mom, single mom.
Yeah.
And she was a teacher, worked 2 jobs to be able to provide for us.
Right.
She worked at HEB. And
In Mejia?
Yeah, in Mejia. So she's out. Yeah, she's out there
That's
grinding.
great. Yeah, that's
That's really where I get my work ethic from. Is
Yeah.
my mom, because
Okay.
she did whatever she could,
Yeah,
to
for
provide
sure.
for us.
Yeah.
But Mejia was a great upbringing for me because my mom actually wasn't in the church.
Okay.
But when we moved to a small town, she's like, I got to find people, that'll help us.
Yeah, for sure.
And so we kind of found our community at church, which is a good experience for us. And
Right.
my hometown folks, I mean, we didn't know anybody there, so
Yeah, I
we
got
moved
you.
there. We weren't related to anybody,
Right.
and lived there all the way up until 18. And then I said, peace out, y'all.
Yeah, for sure.
And now I'm back.
Okay, yeah. So were you happy when you left there? Because I've been to that town. I'm not bashing Mejia. I actually know people. Shout out to my girl Odalis, who's actually from Mejia. But I used to work there a lot, and I'll get into it in just a little bit.
Okay.
But I was just saying that was one of the towns that every time I said I had to go there, I was like, oh shit.
Was it the drive that you didn't like,
No,
or
it
like
was
that your cell service drops out once you get to town, and you're like, wow.
It was the actual town for me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I hate to hear that, because if you had met me and my people, we would have had fun.
Okay, no, for sure.
Yeah, it's just a small town.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I love being from there. I'm proud of where I'm from.
Oh, for sure, and you should be.
Yeah.
Let me before everybody from Mejia starts coming and trying to fight me. I appreciate small towns. I really do. It was that town. I was
You had a bad experience.
Particularly thrilled about going
Yeah.
to. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Everybody can have a bad experience.
Yeah.
But yeah, then my 2 college choices, because like I said, my mom, was working, and she was adamant that we were going to go to college. And
Yeah.
I either was going to go to Texas A&M or
Okay.
to the University of Southern California.
Oh.
So my mom saves up money and is like, okay, well, because I was like, I'm going to LA. I'm going to go to LA. I'm going to be a journalist. This is what I'm going to do.
For sure.
And she takes me out there, and we stayed like in the middle of Compton, and I heard gunshots, and I was like,
oh, wow.
And she goes, just so you know, if I drop you off here, I'm not coming back. Like, I can't afford to like bring you back and forth. You're here.
Yeah.
And I was 17, and I was like, okay, maybe
we should rethink this.
maybe I won't be out here in Los Angeles. But
Yeah.
it turned out to be a great choice.
So you ended
Yeah.
up staying after all?
So I
or?
went to Texas A&M.
Oh, okay.
And then I stayed there for a couple more years
Yeah.
after college, working as a news reporter. And then I went up to middle of nowhere, Massachusetts.
Okay. Oh shit.
That was rough.
And I thought Mejia was bad.
Yeah, I was like, it's against my religion to be this cold. And then I went to Florida for several years. Then I went to Maine, and I fell in the snow in my boots. And that's when I was like, I got to go back to Texas.
Okay, you're done.
So, yeah.
So that
I made the rounds.
There you go. I was gonna say that leads me to my next thing. So you became a news anchor, and so you were a news anchor in all those cities.
Yeah.
Is that correct? Okay. So
Yeah.
why don't you walk me through the process of like why you wanted to become a news anchor and like how all that happened and stuff?
Well, yeah, because coming from a small town, I didn't know anybody on the news. Like,
Okay.
I didn't know, like, how do you become a journalist? I just knew that I love to write, and I love to talk to people. And I was always the one getting in trouble at school for talking too much. And I was I can turn this into a career.
A career, absolutely.
So basically, while I was at school, I did an internship at Channel 13 in Houston.
Right.
And that's when I really learned, the ins and outs. It's really a trade.
Yeah, sure.
Is the editing and the interviewing and doing all of that. And so I basically just begged the news director. I was working in production behind the scenes, like running the cameras and running the Chiron, which is all the graphics on screen. And I begged him, will you please let me be a news reporter? And he was like, okay, I'll let you work part-time.
Yeah, for sure.
But you know how it is in a business like this. It's like, if you're available, you're not working part-time. Like you're going to end up doing all these hours because so-and-so's out sick or whatever.
Because I was going to say, you work some crazy hours, right?
I wake up at 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah, you were telling me that you go to work at like 1 something in the morning, get off at 11. I was like,
yeah.
She's like, so we could do 10 o'clock. And I was
so
like,
basically, I'm kind of still on the clock right now. But
oh, okay. Oh, shit. Listen, don't be trying to dock her. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. I came in an hour earlier, so I could leave an hour early. No, but yeah, it's crazy hours.
I got you, yeah. So, I always wanted to do that when I was growing up. Well, it's not that it wasn't my dream job, but I was like, that would be kind of cool, like to be the weatherman or something. Because everybody always said that I had this distinctive voice, which I don't know what the hell they're talking about.
It's not too late. It's not too late. We could have you on once this COVID thing's over.
Okay, yeah. Well, you know what? I'll come on to promote the public affair, but that's what I'm doing now. It's too late for anybody to book me on that note. It is. Now you have to book me and now you have to pay me. It's too late.
Exactly. But you know what? That kind of goes into a conversation of knowing your worth.
Yeah.
Because in this business, it's grossly underpaid.
Yeah, for sure.
People do not make, I would actually, speaking of my mom working 2 jobs, my very first job as a news reporter, I also worked in the mall.
Oh, okay.
And so I was like selling these business suits in the mall and people would be like, aren't you the lady on the news? And I'm like, yes.
Yes, that's me.
How can I help you today? I work there and I work here.
But a lot of people don't, because I work at Power 108 as well. And so a lot of people don't realize that we don't make that much money. You know what I mean? Everybody thinks that once we're on these media outlets that, like, even in podcasts, there's no money in podcasts. Like, thank God I have sponsors. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. I was like, but that long list of sponsors, somebody's getting a stereo and some tinting or something. Yeah, well, they say it works, so I'm really happy about that. That's good.
And shout out to Boy Box and I because he did give me a stereo and a backup camera.
And I think I might need to get my house painted. So.
Oh, okay. At home painting. Juan, you hear him, right?
I need to hit him up.
Okay, yeah,
hit him up.
He does the best job, I promise.
But that's what a lot of people think, like, who does your hair? Who does your makeup? Who, like me.
Yeah.
And it's like that in the bigger markets too. They kind of cut those budgets, of hair and makeup people. But when I was watching television in the 80s and 90s as a kid, the O.J. Simpson trial was just so glamorous.
Yeah.
Like the TV news reporters were out there on the front lines, and that's really what kind of attracted me to the TV side of it.
For sure, yeah.
And then I found out it's smoke and mirrors.
No, it really is. Even in radio, we only make money really in remotes, like when we go out to events and stuff. But like as far as like when I'm on the air, I don't think shit. You know what I mean? And I love my job. Don't get me wrong. It's what you love at the end of the day.
But I do have to say, this station that I'm at right now is really good to me. And I bought my first house as a single mom myself.
Okay.
And which is so important. Like I get on that soapbox all day. Ladies, you need to get your own bag. You need to have your own account. You need to take care of yourself.
It's the champagne. I tell that to my bitches all the time. Like, don't depend on no man for nothing. I know a 40-year-old woman whose man left her and she didn't have shit. She had a pot to piss, and I said, no, don't ever let that happen to you. Absolutely
It doesn't
not.
matter how good your relationship is or how it's going. If it's going south, you still need to make sure you're taking care of yourself, that you have a 401k, that you go to your doctor's appointments, that you take care of yourself, your money and your health, all of that.
I got you. Yeah, no, I completely agree with you 100%. And I don't tell that to my dudes because I can't stand a dude who sits at home all day and lets his woman go to work. I'm like, and y'all stand for that shit? Absolutely not.
No.
Like, it looks like my brother was a stay-at-home dad. I didn't get that. I was like, are you serious?
Well, I don't know. Some guys really like that
he was
or enjoy that.
He was just a lazy piece of shit. So that's what's
okay.
Anyway, moving on.
I give everybody a chance. I can see both sides, but no.
I don't. Okay.
Some people.
Unless you have a medical condition and you physically cannot work, and if your woman sits there and rides for you, then I completely understand.
But I will tell you this. Yeah. It's important to have a partner who supports you. So my fiance now, he and I are 100% both of us. Because I don't believe in 50-50. I believe in 100 and 100. You give 100, I'm giving 100.
Okay, yeah.
And he supports me in everything. Like, he'll watch the kids.
Right.
Because when I'm at work, that's who's watching the children. They're sleeping.
So
hopefully they're not awake.
But you know what? It's true, because as much as I saw my parents fighting when we were growing up, and they're still together. I don't know how, but they did that. Like, it was always give and take. And for me, I think that's why I'm still single, because those qualities don't Like they don't exist these days.
Like, who?
I'm not here, Lindsay. I'm not with the shits. That's the problem.
No.
You know what I mean? Like I'm not going to go to work and you're sitting in my house all day not doing shit.
Oh, well, after my divorce, I had like a rule, like an area code rule. I wouldn't even date you if you were in an area code I didn't like. 512, you're out. I'm not dating anybody from Austin. Okay. We're done. No.
Girl, please don't get me started. Oh, shit.
You know?
Everybody thinks the love of their life is in some big city like that, but other shit happens.
They're on some back road.
Yeah. No, they are. I really think the love of my life is either a Mexican that needs papers or church.
Or a farmer.
Or a farmer, yeah. Somebody with no business. But Mexicans with no paper, that really is my type. Like, I've talked to... I know so.
Well, you are now in the heyday. Because there's going to be a lot of people coming over.
Hey, so if you need papers, hit me up. I can provide for this relationship.
That's hilarious.
No, I do. I don't know what it is about them that just don't... They don't speak English. It just works my shit, girl. I really don't know what it is.
But you know what they're saying.
Yeah, because I speak Spanish. Yeah, I speak Spanish, so it's whatever. It's all good. Anyway, off topic.
You're like, I didn't have this on my list of what I was going to talk to you about.
But that's the beauty of this show is because half the shit that I write down to talk about with you guys is never shit that I talk about with you guys.
Exactly.
So, it always ends up being something else. But and the champagne is really influencing me a lot. I forgot I didn't put the orange juice because I was scared of spilling it.
It's early, so you haven't had any food probably today.
I haven't had any food. I asked you if you wanted kolaches because I love a good sausage in the morning.
I already had a breakfast taco.
You did tell me that, so I was like, all right, I'm not gonna. And I'm trying to fit into this shirt because I'm losing weight.
You look great, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, Soko Soccer Academy.
How are you doing it? You're working out,
girl. There's no secret.
That's my problem. I'm just not. Yeah. I don't like to. After all the kids I've had, I'm not trying to jump up and down or make movements.
Let me tell you something though, because everybody always asks me what's your secret, and I'm not going to harp on this, but there is no secret. You really got to go out there and work your ass out, like you do. Yeah, like that's the best results I've ever had.
These people who are thin are lying when they're sitting there telling me, I eat whatever I want and I barely. No, that's a lie.
Yeah,
we all
sure.
know it.
But you know what? I think that they do eat whatever they want, but they put in the work hardcore.
Exactly. Yeah. And I'm not willing to do that.
Well, yeah, because they're all on the level where they'll eat cheeseburgers, pizza, everything. Right. And I'm just like, no, I'm just going to eat this, like, the protein. Anyway. Okay, so what was your first big break as far as like being a news anchor? Was there something that really just put you on the map? Because obviously you have a big following in town and there's a lot of people who really know who you are. Was there that one story that just really put you on the map and was like, ooh, we F with her?
Here in Waco, I would say, because when I got here, I already had 15 years of experience.
Okay.
But here in Waco, it was definitely doing the hip hop documentary. My station was in second, mostly third place.
Okay.
And I just ended up kind of looking into that story.
Right.
And I had an open heart and open mind. I was like, there's a story to tell here. Okay. If you guys trust me, like, let's do this together.
Do it, yeah.
And so just the relationship that I formed with DJ Sice, who's like family now, and Prescription as well. And then
shout out to Prescription.
Exactly. Yeah, and then that's how I met Mary Jane.
Okay. I don't know Sice. I don't know DJ Precise. That's his name? Okay, but I have met Prescription from the Private Hip Hop Podcast. Yeah. He's very kind to me. And I did have Mary Jane Evans on the show, so shout out to her as well.
Well, the whole time, it was just an amazing experience. Now, I grew up listening to country music and to hip hop, but I'm a country girl.
Yeah, I could tell, yeah.
I'm
definitely
a country girl. She said
you want a beer in the morning. I was like, oh yeah, she's definitely from Mahia.
Hold up. I don't want beer every morning.
Whatever. I was going to buy you a 40, girl.
Which I thought they outlawed those.
Did they?
I haven't seen it in a hot second. It's just the Mad Dog. Okay, anyways, that's a whole nother conversation.
I'm just drinking right now. I don't drink anymore, so whatever. that calls for more champagne. And this is more sophisticated.
That's a brunch.
This is definitely brunch. I should have got some Eggs Benedict, girl.
That's a brunch item. That's what I always order.
Yeah, for sure.
If I'm at brunch.
Oh, me too.
Because I can't cook that at home. Okay. So starting that was really a huge turning point. I think not just for our community because it's something that everybody did together.
Okay.
And kind of, I think we broke down a lot of barriers. Of course, you're always going to have your haters out there. People that said that I shouldn't be the one telling that story. I shouldn't be doing this and that.
Why do you think that is?
Because I'm like a white girl.
Okay.
But I ignored that and I said, look, here's the microphone from my channel. Tell your story.
Tell your story.
And tell it the way you want to tell it without any filters.
Yeah.
And so obviously we didn't get to interview every person that we would have liked to.
Okay.
But that was a turning point for me because all of a sudden I saw myself not just as a news reporter, but as a filmmaker, as a screenwriter. And that's really something that I found a passion for through that. And so that was a huge turning point. And then just when we had the premiere at the Hippodrome literally a year ago, seeing moms with their kids and seeing them up on the big screen was a huge moment because storytelling did that for them. They were able to be really proud of their kids.
For sure,
And when you're grinding, especially if you're an underground artist, you're grinding all these years, you know, you want to get respect in your hometown.
Yeah, for sure.
And people see how hard you've been working. And then it was a great moment.
You know what? I think I remember.
And we're number one now.
Oh, good.
Our station
the station's number one?
Because the community supported me after that. They knew that I was for real and that I wasn't just in it to try to, you know, do whatever.
And it's like we said, everybody's always going to hate.
Exactly.
But you know what? I will say I haven't had a chance. Please don't hate me. I haven't had a chance to watch the hip hop documentary. But
it's not. Oh,
it's not.
You basically can't see it.
Oh, okay.
You can go on our station's app, on the 25 News app, and you can watch the clean version.
Oh, okay.
Which isn't as fun as the regular version. So we're working to get it on Amazon Prime so people.
Oh, good. Okay, I have an Amazon Prime account,
which would be great because then that money goes right back to the artist.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, and I was going to tell you, I remember it being a big buzz, and I think that's how I first heard your name, because a lot of people, as much as you say that maybe people were like saying, "Oh, she's white, she shouldn't be doing this," there was a lot of people that were proud, I guess, because of the time that we were in at the time, that a white girl with blonde hair, blue eyes was giving this platform to, so to speak, minorities. And so I think that you did receive a lot of praise for that, which I was kind of like, oh, okay, that's good for her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would love an opportunity to watch it.
I'll send you the private link.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, do it, please.
Yeah, I will.
And I'll give you a sneak peek of this episode.
Okay.
But, no, but you know, I have to give respect to a lot of, like, there's a lot of people local here doing things. Like, so I had Timo.
So many people.
There is. I had Timo on my first episode of The Public Affair, who
I watched that one.
Isn't he great?
I love
Timo. He's so kind
and so talented.
He is so talented. Yeah. Oh, and he's just been so successful. I actually had another rapper on here. He's not known too much as far as for rapping, but his name is Splash, and he's just.
Oh, I gotta look him up.
He's
somebody named Splash. I'm all about that.
He's actually the episode before this, and we recorded yesterday. Okay. He's eccentric, that's for sure.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So you know, I definitely realize that there's a lot of talent here in town, but you know, the thing with me, Lindsay, is that I feel like respect is, how do I put this? Like, it's like you have to work for that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have to support you just because you're from this town. Like, if you're not good, you're just not good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I want to give you criticism and be like, hey, maybe you should change this, because people tell me on my podcast all the time. Like, I've had to tell people to tell me stop drinking before your podcast.
Don't listen to them. Don't change a thing. Don't you change a thing about yourself, Andrew.
Let me clarify. I don't change anything about me, because people tell me that I'm too extra all the fucking time, and I'm like, well, that's what makes the Public Affair so lit.
Yeah.
But as far as like, you know, like people like the drink, I drank before. I used to drink before my show, the first 8 episodes of the Public Affair, and people were like, hey, like you kind of got to calm down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I would come in here flop sweating, you know, just disgusting. And I'm like, yeah, that's something. But as far as people telling me to change my personality, I'm like, nah, fuck you. Like, too bad, don't watch it.
Well, and that's been a hard lesson for me to learn, I guess, in the news, because when I first got into the business, obviously I was very young.
Yeah.
And, you know, they tried to make me look older.
Right.
They tried to make me not have an accent.
Yeah,
they tried to make me basically the cookie cutter news anchor.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until really I got to maybe my 3rd or 4th market that I was like, you know what? I'm wearing my boots and I'm going to talk the way I talk.
And that's it.
And I'm going to tell this story. And if you don't like it, fire me.
You know what? And I will tell you, when I started at Power 108, I had the same battle. And I can say this because that old job I had, I don't work there anymore. But when I started there, you know, I was coming out as a gay man.
Yeah.
And they always told me, because we would go to towns like Mahia, we would go to towns like Teague, Fairfield. And they were like, I was always told, you have to watch the way you talk, you have to watch the way you walk, you have to watch the way you act. And so when I worked at Power 108, they were the opposite. They're like, no, you just be yourself.
Exactly.
So I struggled with that for like the first, I would say 6 months of being on the air on the radio. Because they were just like, what are you doing? Like, just be yourself. Like, you know, don't be nervous. Like,
you're like, but I've heard this message my whole career to act this certain way. But you can't do that because, in my opinion, there's another kid in that small town of Mahia or wherever else, and they're looking to you to be yourself. So that's a message that they can be themselves.
Well, you know what? I would actually, I can just say it now. I won't name the company that I worked for, not that I work for now because I love it, but the worked for, I would have complaints. And this was like 9 years ago.
Right.
I would have complaints filed against me because of the way I acted or because of the way I spoke. And I thought at the radio, I was like, well, what would they do if like I'm on the air? And it's like, oh, he sounds like gay as fuck. Like, why you guys got him on the air? And they told me we would tell them not to listen. Period, point blank.
Just don't listen if you don't like it.
I did feel like my old job didn't follow suit and really just kind of was like, you need to stop because this is affecting business. You know what I mean? So anyway, I don't work there anymore, so it doesn't even matter. But anyway, moving forward.
But it's so damaging though, you know?
Who cares? No, I don't give a fuck because like
it damaged me.
It damaged me at the time. But now I just don't give a fuck. Yeah.
Exactly.
Now I just don't care because I've become successful like being myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that's all it is. And so if you don't like it, I'm gonna say. But I also like prior to like what I've said, like besides that, I never really dealt with public scrutiny for being gay. You know what I mean? Like the job doesn't matter because it's just a job. Like I'm gonna go home at the end of the day, but nobody's ever like lynched me for it. Thank God. But I'm aware that it exists.
Yeah.
Do you know? Yeah. So.
And it's really crazy, you know, in the news business, it's been nothing but you're in the public eye no matter what. And so now it's been more than half my life. Okay. And so when people send me a nasty email, I'm like, oh, I'm clapping back. Yeah, Here we go. Yeah. And my bosses will be like, Lindsay, please don't email the viewers back if you're going to say that. Yeah, for sure. I'm never rude. I'm like, are you coming at me at my place of business and I've been up since 1:30 in the morning? Yeah. You better shut up. We're not, exactly.
I feel you. Yeah. So you know what? I definitely want to get into this too. So we talked about you being from Mahia and I mentioned that my old job, let's clarify, that we used to travel. No, because my new full-time job, I don't name the jobs on the air because it's irrelevant, but my new full-time job, I absolutely love it. So if you guys watch, I'm not talking about you guys, but my old job, we would go to Mahia a lot. And I would just remember, do you guys get like calls from everybody who wants a news story? Do you know what I mean? Like, do you get like people like everybody just thinks their story should be on the news?
Absolutely.
So I had a woman like in Mahia. I don't want to, okay, so I used to.
I might know her. Wait, what's her name?
I don't fucking know, to be honest. And I want to say it without saying what I used to do so that way I don't get the company in trouble. But
how are we going to do this?
Because we don't want to get sued because we're 37 episodes in. Cheers to that.
Cheers, honestly.
So the woman was upset about a way that we had to do certain things because it was protocol. Okay. And the last thing she told me when we were like done, not arguing, because I wasn't arguing with her. I was just like giving her like, this is my job, like it or not. And she was just like, well, I guess I'm just gonna have to call News Channel 10 on you and let them know what's going on here. And I'm like, well, before I literally said this, I was like,
and why was she watching News Channel 10?
Okay. Right? Shit. Lindsay, don't get us sued. Okay, I told you.
Okay, I'm sorry, but that's not my channel, so they can. They called them.
Well, she's from Mahia, but anyway. No, so she said, I guess I have to call News Channel 10 on you. And I was like, well, and I told her, before they come, can you let me know so I could spritz the spruce? Because it's been a busy ass day. I'm tired, and you got me fucked up over here talking about the news is coming on me. Let's go. Yeah. You want to do this? You want to come to the playground? Let's play, bitch. Come on.
No, sometimes my boyfriend will be like, he'll be on like a call with somebody, and he's upset about something. Right, like our cell phone service, and he'll be like, my girlfriend works for the news and I will get it. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not coming. I'm not coming to help you with your cell phone plan. Like, so it's not happening.
So I was going to say, so you guys obviously probably get a lot of people that call us like, ooh, this happened. Like, can you tell us some stories about that people like call you for? Or just say it, because there's no rules on the public affair.
No, it's all kinds of stories.
Okay, like what?
I mean, the things that they want us to report on, usually it has to do, unfortunately, it's usually something like, my landlord problems, that sort of thing. Right. I mean, there's not been anything. What's weird are the phone calls, because who's calling these days? Like, who picked up the landline and they're calling the news station? They may be prank calls. I'm not sure. Okay. But they'll call up, and they'll go on and on. So I don't answer the phone anymore at the station. Okay. I tell them to take my phone away.
So y'all know.
Because I'm not going to answer that phone. Because you're going to end up on the phone for 2 hours with somebody that's got, a leaky toilet. I can't help you with that.
So I was going to say, what's like the craziest thing that somebody's ever called in for and you were just like, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. Like,
oh my gosh. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's just, I really, there's so many that I can't I try to block them out of my memory.
Yeah, I got you.
Or whatever. I will tell you that I've been on some crazy stories where crazy things have happened.
Oh, really?
Like, for example, this guy in Florida, of course.
Right.
Because that was a whole...
What part of Florida?
I was in Southwest Florida, so the other side of Miami.
Is that Carol City?
I was in Fort Myers.
Fort Myers.
Which is a retirement community.
Oh, yeah. I used to watch To Catch a Predator, and somebody from there was from Fort Myers.
Always. Yeah. Okay. They're like always there. And my mom, when I started having kids, she was like, please don't have kids here. Okay, not She's like, Fort Myers. I feel like there's like predators around. And I'm like... Yeah,
they are. Because they did a whole episode of To Catch Predator.
I said, it's a sunny place for shady people.
Yeah.
That's what I call it. But honestly, like Fort Myers was actually a really nice place to live. But anyways, so this guy calls us. He's like, because it was wildfire season. He's like, this fire, just started. It's across the street. I can see it right now. Come over. Right. I said, okay, but we need to interview you. And he's like, okay. So he knew we were coming. He knew. He called us. We show up, and this guy is in his underwear at the front door. Girl, no. And I was like, sir, can you put more clothes on? Boxers and briefs. And it was, tidy whities. Oh,
I was going to say, was he cute? That's
no.
Okay. Because if he was, I'd be like, no, stay that way. It's cool.
Not cute at all.
Let's do it in your house.
And so then he's like, okay. So he leaves and he goes and he puts like some jean shorts on.
Why would he think that he can just do that?
But no shirt. And I'm like, where am I going to put the microphone? I've got like a clip-on mic.
Right.
On your chest here?
Right.
On your like chain?
Ugh,
I don't know. I was like,
Yeah.
I also had a lady one time who was like, hold up. Let me go get my outfit changed real quick and I'll do an interview with you. But she was wearing something fine.
Yeah, I got
you.
She
came back with a Tweety Bird shirt on. And I said, you really did.
You changed for
You
that.
really had to go get your Tweety Bird.
You love that Tweety Bird shirt, don't you?
Tweety Bird shirt. I was like, all day long.
Well, if she's from Fort Myers, her nickname is probably fucking Tweety.
I don't know. It probably was. She wanted everybody to know. I wore my Tweety Bird shirt.
Okay, they call her Tweety in the hood.
You got that at Six Flags, spray painted, airbrush, Tweety Bird shirt.
Do you ever cover stories like that? Because I was talking about my shows To Catch a Predator. Like, I love To Catch a Predator.
Yeah.
And I used to always want to be the decoy in To Catch a Predator. Like, I always wanted to be like the teenage boy. You know what I mean? Everybody says that it would be like a dead giveaway.
But it's always like a young girl that's pretending to be a boy.
You know what's so fucking great,
I'm
Lindsay?
like, how are they not catching on to this?
It's the girl who's like 25 years old.
Who
she
looks
dresses
like
a
she's
boy.
12.
Yeah. She looks like she's 12.
Yeah.
And the predator fucking falls for it.
They
fall for it. And she comes in, she's like, hey man, come on in. I got some brownies for you. And they're like, oh, okay, I got you. I'll be right there. It's always them. It's always the country bumpkins.
So gross.
Yeah, I know it's disgusting, but like I always wanted to be like the decoy. You know what I mean? I always wanted to be the person on the other side of the door, like, hey, come on in.
It's like, how much would that job pay?
Would you ever cover a story like that?
Oh yeah.
Or have you ever covered a story like that?
When we were in Florida, it was the style of news was a lot more sensational. So I did this sting one time on locksmiths in town where I hid.
Wait, I need some more champagne for that one. Were you the teenage girl?
I was just like a young woman.
Okay,
I don't know, like 26, 27. But I wasn't a decoy. I was hiding to see what they did. And then I came out with the microphone. So it wasn't like a shining moment in my career. But anyways, so we were asking them to let us into places. These locksmiths were like, let me into cars, let me into somebody's house, let me into somebody's business. And then I would jump out and I'd be like, you just opened this business. You don't even know whose business this is, But then after that, I locked my keys in my car and I was like, oh, damn, shit. Yeah. I can't even call anybody to come get my keys because I did a sting on all the locksmiths in town. I moved shortly after that. I was like, I gotta get out of town.
You gotta get out of here. No, I always wanted to do stories like that because, like, as disgusting as it is, like, I think it's so weird that I love that show. Like, that's like one of my favorite shows on TV because, like, it's just I don't know what's more gratifying when they catch the predator or it's the decoy that just mesmerizes me. Like, it's just like, wow, you really played that off. You know what I mean? And some of the shit that they talk about too is just like really grotesque. I know. They had that guy.
You can't honestly like in this business, you can't unsee and unthink some of the things that you had to read. I try to avoid all stories about kids, stuff like that, because that stuff, after a while, it really grates on you. Like,
absolutely.
Because you're like, what kind of effed up people are doing this kind of thing to kids?
The fact that shit like that exists, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I don't know what anybody finds so interesting about a child. Like, that's like the most unsexiest thing.
It's horrible, but there are bad people out there, and that's why you gotta like protect your kids, protect your community.
They had that assistant DA from Murphy, Texas. I don't remember his name.
Where's Murphy?
Girl, I don't know. By Plano. Because I watched this episode like 100 times.
Okay.
And you could YouTube the phone conversations. Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
And so like he was trying to solicit sex
and
from a minor.
And he probably was like married.
No, he was actually single. But
okay,
he was just old he was old as F, yeah. And he was on the phone with like who was perceived to be a 13-year-old boy, and he shot himself on the episode. I think that's why production for that show ended. I'm not sure, but yeah, it was like the craziest thing ever.
Did he kill himself?
He did.
Okay.
Because they went to go like arrest him.
They were like, that didn't go well.
They were just like, this is going to be a spectacle. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And so, but it's crazy because like, and this is so weird, guys, please don't judge me, but you can listen to the phone calls on YouTube. Like somebody leaked hear what they're talking about. And it's just like, oh my God. Wild. Again, my type is like short, stubby Mexicans that need papers.
That are not getting on those phone calls.
Exactly.
Trying to get a little.
That are not 12, you just need papers. And so I can provide that for you. You know what I mean?
We're going to be on the lookout for that guy.
Yeah, please do. Like put me on the news so that you can find me. Anyway.
I think if we made a dating segment on the TV, our ratings would skyrocket.
Yeah, what should we call it? Like, I don't know. Do you need papers? Like, or I love papers. Like, I just
like the dating wheel.
Lindsay, I'm not even kidding. I don't know what it is about that type of person that just really rocks my shit. Like,
how many of that type of person have you been with though? Like, how do you know that this is your type?
My dad watches this show.
Oh, okay.
No, okay.
I'm asking the questions now, Andrew.
I went to Mexico and then I didn't sleep with the guy. We just messed around. That was for my friend's wedding. And I got banned from Mexico for that. And then, I did.
Did you really?
I did. It was crazy.
Like, by the country of Mexico?
No. Well,
okay.
I just couldn't go back for a minute because everybody thought I was the whore of town.
Oh.
Which, whatever, it was fun. And so then, I did sleep with somebody that was like that, probably on a handful, but I don't know what it is. It just works my shit. Like, I don't know.
But
like,
it's good to have a type.
Yeah.
You got a direction.
Now,
you know where you're going.
Exactly. And now I know that also my type is not what's best for me. Because everybody always wants, like, especially in my community, everybody wants the Abercrombie and Fitch model type guy. And then they end up like having some disease you can't get rid of.
Oh,
and
no.
Then, and I don't want to be a statistic. So.
Well, it's funny because when I look at all the people I've ever dated, they're all completely different. So really? I don't have like a type.
Okay,
my type is a nice person.
Yeah.
And that's what I go with.
Ideally,
like they have to be a really good person on the inside.
For sure.
They don't have to be perfect, but they need to be a good person.
Ideally, I would love a just nice Mexican man who doesn't speak English, who's short and stubby, to come up to me and be like, "What's up?" And I'd be like, "What's up?" But like, I know that might not happen, so I'm very open-minded when it comes to dating.
But do you want to be with somebody? Like, do you feel like you have to be in a relationship, or you just be on your own?
The problem with me is that I've been so independent. I'll be 30 this year.
Yeah.
So I've been so independent.
30? You're a baby.
I know.
You're a baby.
I've been so independent for so long that I don't know that I can provide the right type of thing in a relationship. Because I don't need you for shit. Do you know what I mean?
And I don't think I think there are successful relationships that don't have to have the codependency.
Okay.
You know, it's like you do your thing, I do mine. Like, I don't need you to buy me a car. But like, if you did, that'd be nice.
I just I don't have to depend on you for anything except companionship. And it scares me because maybe I don't know like what to what to
men
provide.
do like to be needed.
Well, that's great. So do you need papers? Like, you know what I mean? Like, because I can do that for you. Let's get married and I'll give you papers.
There you go.
Like, that's it.
And then they owe you forever.
Yeah. But you know, like gay people are so like, that's why I like sleeping with straight men, because gay people are mad dramatic, Lindsay. I wish I could just meet a straight man with those qualities and then he says,
I know plenty of straight men who are well, I don't know. They might be gay, but they're dramatic.
That means they're gay. So anyway.
That confirms my suspicions.
Yes, 9 times out of 10, if you have to, I say this all the time. I don't care who gets mad. 9 times out of 10, when you have to question a man about his sexuality, that means he's gay.
Boom.
Or that's it, period. Okay. And I'm not out, I don't out any of my people. That's why they love me. You know what I mean? They love me for that. But that just, it's the fact of the matter. They get mad at.
This is good information you're giving me.
No, Lindsay, I'm serious. Like, they'll be mad at me. They'll be, don't talk to me anymore. And 2 months later, my DMs will end up effing. So it's like, whatever. Sorry, Dad. But anyway, my dad watches the show and I'm sure he's like, God,
he supports you. It's okay.
My dad loves me. Yeah, it was crazy because like growing up, I couldn't stand him. But
now you guys are.
But he tells me, he's like, I'm just so proud of you because of everything you built for yourself. Like,
that's
you know,
sweet.
he's cool.
That
Dad's
like
cool.
that's what we're all working for. I think in the end is our parents to be proud of us.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, when he told me that, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool, Dad. Like, you know, but I just get nervous about some of the things he sees that I say because I don't talk like this with my parents.
Do you think he doesn't know that you talk like that?
Well, surely I'm sure he's not naive, but I also don't speak like that with him. Like, I don't, like, I don't know. You Texans love drinking with your dads. Like, I don't drink with my dad. Yeah. So, you know what? Hey, earlier you mentioned that you grew up in a single mother household. Was your dad around at all? Or? Yeah,
well, in the very beginning, what's funny is I'm from Mejia, but I've traveled almost all 50 states to different countries because my dad... he was married 5 times.
Ooh, darling.
And there were a lot of stepmoms.
Was he ever married? I was going to say, was he ever married to a man?
No.
Sometimes they just want to try.
My dad was definitely not gay.
Okay, gotcha.
He definitely liked ladies.
It doesn't necessarily mean that they're gay. They just want to try something new.
No, he was not into that.
Episode 30 of the Public Affair will watch it. Anyway, go ahead. Yeah.
This is going to have to be split into 2 episodes if we go this deep.
No, it's good. Go ahead.
But so he lived in New York City. He lived all over the country. And so as a kid, like we would get back in the day, we'd get on an airplane and go up to New York City.
Right.
That was when he was in between wives. I love his current wife right now. He passed a couple years ago.
I'm sorry to hear that.
And so, but that's what I'm saying. Like he was the parent that was very proud of my television work.
Oh, good.
And so we were close. And so he moved to Dallas when I was in junior high.
Yeah.
And so that's when we started kind of like the every other weekend.
Oh, okay.
Type
Got
of
you.
thing.
Yeah.
But very supportive of me. Love him, miss him very much, but I definitely do not want to get married 5 times myself.
Okay, yeah, gotcha.
I don't got the energy for all that.
Okay, girl, yeah, but getting married once, I'm sure, is like a thing. But I got to talk with my dad a lot about that because we didn't have like I wouldn't say we had the best honestly speaking, we didn't have the best relationship growing up, and I don't know if a lot of it was because he thought I was gay and stuff like that, but he really like we got to speak about like he watches The Public Affair, he see me like I've never had to ask them for anything, and he's just like I'm just really proud of you because my brother obviously took a different route in life, and we'll talk about that another time. But he's just like I'm just really proud of you. Like I look at a lot of like our other family members, and you like I don't have to give you anything. Like you have all your own shit. Like
that's what a lot. I know a lot of parents they want their kids to like stay close to them. I want my kids. I've got 4. I've got 3 boys and a little baby girl.
Oh, okay.
Well, she's not a baby. She's 4.
Yeah.
But 9, 7, 6, and 4 are my kids, and I'm like I want them to be healthy adults. To do what they love, but I also want them when they're 18 to move. Like go.
I got you. So anyway, Lindsay, back to you. Oh God. Was there, how do you feel like, so I've unfollowed all the news stations on Facebook because here's the thing.
Because you don't need that negativity in your life.
It's not that it's negative. I just feel like the media blows things up proportionally. And so I'm not going to put this person's name out there, but I knew a person that was on the news for getting arrested. And someone personally? Yeah. I'm friends with this person. And they got arrested, and the news report, it was like, oh, they had marijuana, they had the baby not in the seatbelt, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Well, it turns out all that was like not factual. Right. And so, she had her name like really just out there like, oh my God, what a bad person. But then the charges were dropped, everything. Why didn't the news put a report out on that? So can you like enlighten us on maybe stories like that are just kind of like blown out of proportion?
I was just having a conversation today with my general manager about just conversations. And, a lot of times people think that we stir things up and we basically just kind of like if you put a mugshot out of a person, this is my belief.
Okay.
We tried not to use mugshots anymore. Now, if someone of very high profile got arrested, we're going to use their mugshot.
No, but that's part of being a journalist, correct? Because you guys need the story at the end of the day,
right?
Like,
and
that's just
we're
your
all
job.
About images.
Okay, got you.
We're on TV, so we need to have images for our story.
Yeah.
But I agree. If you're innocent until proven guilty, but all of this has already been put out there. Where are the corrections of, this case was dismissed.
Exactly.
And I've been through the judicial system. Right. I went through a divorce. I went through, a custody case. I went through all of that. Right. And unfortunately, I'll tell you, I don't think the court system, a lot of information that journalists get is from law enforcement and the court system.
Okay.
And so if the court says it, even if the court is wrong, that's what gets put out there.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, do you think that, how do you feel, maybe not you personally, but as a journalist, how do you think that person feels when that affects that other person's livelihood, but then it was all untrue? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, have you ever been put in a situation like that?
I haven't personally, thankfully. I try to stay away from stuff like that. But of course, there's 2, 3, 4 sides to every story. Right. So you just have to be extra careful about what it is you're reporting. But as a rule, I think journalism in general has now gotten... Oh gosh, I mean, it's so interesting because I think in the 90s and the early 2000s, it was like everything gets put out there.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Like very few filters. Yeah. And now it's a little bit more responsible. However, the political season that we just went through went a little haywire.
Okay, gotcha.
People were really, it's very difficult for me to, get insulted where people are saying, well, you're the media, you do this, you do that. I'm like, I'm a local news reporter. I have no main conspiracy against anyone. Yeah. So whatever you're thinking about the media in general, you got to remember these are individual people, right? That are, they'll make mistakes. They shouldn't. They should do everything they can in their power not to make mistakes. Yeah, for sure. But it's the kind of job where you can't have a bad day. Right. Like if I have a bad day and I make a mistake, that could get someone sued. Yeah. That could, you got to be like on your A game.
Right. But is it that important to get the story though, as a journalist? Like no matter if it's factual or not, this is something that people are going to read because people naturally, I just feel like gravitate to negativity, which is unfortunate.
But that's the hallmark of somebody who's going to make it in this business and who's not is the person who says, yeah, that's a juicy story, but I'm not going to run with it because we don't have it confirmed, and we've got to have some principles. And so thankfully I've made it this long in my career because I don't just jump at every story because it's more embarrassing if you have to go back on and make a correction.
I got you. Yeah. Yeah.
But I think most people don't see, like, if you're a fly on the wall in the newsroom, it's pretty interesting. I mean, there's a newsroom culture, and we're listening to the scanners, and we're always in go mode.
Yeah, for sure.
And you want to get it, and you want to get it first.
Yeah, you want that story,
you know? And a lot of times you do have to compartmentalize, like, emotionally, because the minute you start kind of thinking of every single person on the news, you can't handle those emotions. I got you. Because every story you do could potentially affect somebody positively or negatively.
Yeah.
That's rough.
I completely agree with you. You know what? This might be a sore subject. Do you think that the Twin Peaks story was overblown? Be honest.
Well, I have to say a disclaimer. One of my high school friends was one of the bikers who got arrested, falsely arrested. And I don't think it was. Do I think it was handled properly by law enforcement, or do I think it was handled properly by media? Yeah. My answer would be no to both. I mean, I wasn't here though. I was in Austin during that time, and so I came as an Austin news reporter to cover it. But I just think, lives were lost that day, and I just think the entire thing.
Do you think because it was like the biggest thing to happen in town, everybody just had to like blow it up? Do you know what I mean?
The video, the images, the fact that all these bikers are out there everyone's getting arrested. I mean, it had all the hallmarks of a national network story. So everybody's going to come cover it. And then they're going to come cover it, until they're blue in the face. Yeah, for sure. But then, when the only biker who went to trial gets, the case dismissed, I believe, if my facts are correct. Yeah. Where were all the cameras then? It's kind of like a short blurb, and nobody's covering it. Yeah, for sure. Anymore.
I mean, and now it was a very unfortunate series of events that happened, but I also miss Twin Peaks. I'm not gonna lie. It was a really good restaurant.
Well, now that restaurant's cursed.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Because it just keeps opening and closing, and opening and closing.
For sure. I mean, it was an unfortunate series of, but I do. That's why I feel like there's a lot of news stories out there. Maybe not. I don't want to say particularly that one, because did I follow it too much? No, I just knew that it was all over the news for a minute, and I couldn't go to Happy Walk that day because they told us not to. Anyway, the whole road was closed.
No, not that week.
I mean, they were telling us to stay home because bikers are on the way to shoot up Waco, and I'm just like, no fucking way. You know what I mean? Like, come on. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I feel like for the most part, not you particularly, but I feel like for the most part, sometimes the news stations might over project things that, it's not that serious. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that situation wasn't serious. I'm just saying like.
And I think for my friend, that totally, in a way, destroyed his life. I mean, that totally impacted his life, and he was not guilty of what he was accused of, but he's still in prison now. Right. For other stuff that ended up,
that just came up. That just happens to come up.
Right. Yeah. And so, that entire situation. And I think it's so important because police can tell you something, but as a journalist, you can't take everything that the police, you've got to think for yourself. Right, you've got to be able to do your due diligence and interview other people.
Do you think that there's journalists that exist that do think that way? Like they just want the story so bad that they'll go off of anything that they hear and make a story out of it? Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're not that person, just to clarify.
No, gotcha. I am not that person. No, and also, the people back at the station, they'll send you out for a story and they'll think that they know, hey, this is what the story is. And you got to be strong enough that when you get there, that you're not just trying to please your bosses, that you're like, no, this is what the story actually really is. If you don't want the story.
But because people don't really realize that it, like we talked about earlier, it really does affect somebody's livelihood. Like it really like my friend, for instance, who she had a story put out about her when she finds out being not guilty and all that was fabricated. Where's that story to say, oh, we fucked up? You know what I mean?
Well, and it's hard to even find a lawyer who would pursue a case, for her, because they're like, because then the lawyer would be like, well, who wants to sue, the attorney or the judge or whoever put it out there that said that, or the TV station.
Yeah, for sure. I feel you. Well, thank you for enlightening me on that. Like, I'm glad to know that. I mean, you seem like you have a biased opinion about it, and like yours is just pretty straightforward. You come as raw as they come.
No matter what, you've got to tell the truth. Yeah. Some people are not going to like the truth. Right. Some people, but no matter what, if it's the truth, then that's it.
That's it. Yeah.
You can't.
I got you.
You can influence it.
I completely understand, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, Lindsay, God, I really want to get into too, before we wrap up here, that you have your own, is it a podcast that you have? Or?
I have my own TV show.
You have your own TV show.
Yeah.
Why don't you talk to us a little bit about that?
Well, it started out as a news segment, and really it kind of started in Waco. I was doing stories on like Willie Nelson's guitar and all that kind of fun stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
It's definitely a country music show.
Okay.
And
very country.
It's all about the country.
Yeah.
But because that's
type
what
of men
I
are
love.
into that, by the way, too.
Hey, I'll pull the viewer stats
pull the
for you,
statistics and let them know if
I'll be like,
need
Andrew,
what's up?
possible dating list right here.
Let's go.
So I go out and interview people, artists, musicians, and creatives, and it's a show that I actually do with my fiance. He's the executive producer,
shout out to
and
the
he
fiance.
does the photography for it. It's called Texas Voices. So it comes on Saturdays at 6:30 p.m.
Where can our viewers watch that?
On my channel.
On your channel? Is that new channel?
KXXV.
Channel 25?
Yeah.
Locally in Waco.
Yeah. So it's in Waco and it's in Bryan College Station.
Oh, good.
And we're working for other markets to
I'm going to have
to
to check it out. I don't have cable, but I'm going to check it out.
Yeah.
Can I watch it online?
No, not yet, because we
Okay.
want people to tune in the old-fashioned way. That we want them to turn on their television, DVR it or whatever. But we also interviewed Balcones and Travis over at the Undercroft.
Okay.
So it's
Listen,
fun.
I'm not country, but have me on the show, okay?
Okay. You're creative.
I'll bring mimosas.
You're creative.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Honestly, that would be a lot of fun.
It would be, right?
To interview,
Let's talk about it sometime. Yeah.
It'd be good.
I love doing interviews because I think they think it's going to go one way. And then and they're just like,
but I feel that's the thing with people. I don't try to dictate what we're going to, I'm just like, let's just talk about whatever it is you want to talk about.
I actually recorded one person who was trying to start a podcast, and that episode never got released.
That's okay.
I don't know if it's because I was being a little bit too excited.
In the vault.
I love that person. I love that. But yeah, it's in the vault.
Yeah, it's in the vault.
They just never released it. I never asked why. I haven't seen it. You know what I mean? And I was just like, okay.
It was too hot. It was too hot to handle.
You know what? Listen, Andrew G is as real as they come, darling. Okay? Lindsay, what's next?
That's why I love you.
I appreciate you. It's the champagne.
No, it's not.
Yeah, no, it's just me. What's next for you, Lindsay?
Well, I mentioned that I enjoy screenwriting, and but with all of these other projects that I'm doing, my number one is news anchoring.
Gotcha.
But I'm kind of a multi-passionate person, and so I'd love to branch into screenwriting, as well as more filmmaking and that sort of thing, and really just have something for my children that they can say. My kids, they wear their Waco Hip Hop Doc T-shirts to school, and they're so proud because they can actually tangibly see, mommy worked on that,
right? For sure.
And that's really what it's all about them.
Would you say that's your proudest story to have covered?
Absolutely.
The Waco Hip Hop documentary? Okay.
Number one, because it formed lifelong friendships as well. I think so. I think it made an impact.
Well, I definitely look forward to watching it. I've heard there was a lot of buzz about it.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see it. I think that what you're doing is great. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. I think that what you're doing is great, Lindsay. Obviously, you have a big name for yourself in the news. I think a lot of people respect you. I think in the times, I don't try to get into the politics and stuff, but I think at the times what you were doing really helped that culture embrace you and your culture. Do you see what I'm saying?
And maybe, and all I was hoping, a lot of people were like, well, we have this story and we have that story. And I want people to know that they have the power to tell their story however they want to tell it. Because there's a lot of power in people being able to speak up and I guess impart their own history.
I got you. Yeah. So in the future, you're just going to keep doing news. Is that what's going on? Or
would you I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what's happening.
Yeah. Or because if your show blows up, then why not just focus on that, right?
Well, because I'm going to have 4 children in college.
Oh, yeah, gotcha. Okay.
I got to be like the Ryan Seacrest of Waco. I got to do as much stuff as I can possibly do.
Let's revisit this conversation in 10 years and see where we are, okay? Because I'm hoping in 10 years the public affairs is going to be super lit.
There we go.
But that being said, thank you to the community that supports this podcast and to you. Because again, it means a lot to me that somebody with a name like yourself watches this show. And so
first I saw your graphic, your artwork, and I was like, I'm going to like this. Let me listen. I was like, I got to listen to this.
Shout out to Lindsay Liepman. I went to high school with her, Lindsay Bates. Oh God, I wish I could remember the name of the Willow Stage, I believe it's called Willow Stage Photography.
I love it.
She did all my photo shoot when I started the public affair. Yeah,
it was really eye catching, and I was like, okay, he's holding one, and he's got it. I'm gonna have to tune in.
It was a play on words. Yeah, I love it. So I appreciate you. Thank you so much, and for coming on the show. I really do appreciate it. Unfortunately, we do have to wrap up now. But
do we, Andrew?
We do. Mike has other sessions. Am I missing anything though, Lindsay? Was there anything else that you wanted to cover?
No, I love this community, and I love the fact that there's so much talent, including you and what you're doing.
Thank you.
Rogue Media is wonderful.
Love Rogue
Media. For everybody that's out there, if there's something that you want to create, do it. Don't wait.
Sure. I say that all the time. Don't wait on nobody for nothing. You guys could push yourself to do it. Nobody this podcast was all me and Mike. You know what I mean? So I appreciate you saying that for sure. Yeah. Well, thank you, Lindsay, for coming on to the show. I'm really happy that you came on. I had a really good conversation with you and the Champagne.
It was a lot of fun.
It was definitely a lot of fun. I was like stressed out about, what am I going to talk with her about this and that? This morning I woke up. I don't know, 37 episodes in, and I told Mike I still get diarrhea before every single show. Like I get so nervous. I don't know why. Full on
diarrhea or just figurative?
Figurative diarrhea.
Figurative diarrhea.
You know what I mean? But then as soon as I woke up this morning, I slept on it. I was like, ooh, this. And then, of course, everything I wrote down is nothing.
And you and I could talk for hours.
Oh, we can, yeah. So, but that's for part 2.
But I'll have you on my show.
Yeah. I'm going to look forward to it. Okay. I look forward to the invite. Well, Lindsay, thank you so much again for coming. Again, to the community, thank you all so much again for supporting episode 37 and all the episodes of The Public Affair. Before we go, I definitely want to give a shout out to a few more of our sponsors of The Public Affair because I'm not done yet, darling. I definitely want to give a shout out to Elite Barbershop with Sid Rodriguez. He is my personal barber, which is why I look so fly all the time. He's located on Hewitt Drive. You can download the Cut app or call the number on the screen to book. He also has Marcus Guerrero, which is another Public Affair alumni with Sid, Chris Reyes, and Santos Cordova over there making you look all hot and sexy for the weekend. Thank you so much to Elite Barbershop. We've been in it since the beginning. Sid, I'm so proud of you. Thank you for sponsoring The Public Affair. Of course, the Soko Soccer Academy with Dominic Gutierrez and Ariana Gutierrez. They're located on Franklin Drive. They offer team, small group, and individual skill training. They also specialize in soccer training, and they have fitness training with Dominic Gutierrez, Isaac, and London Carrillo, which is why I'm losing all my weight. Soko Soccer Academy, thank you guys so much for sponsoring this episode. Of course, the Fat Boy Michelada and Botana with my boy Junior Banda, who is back, and I'm so excited. Have you ever had one of their Botana trays?
No.
I'm gonna get you one. I'm gonna bring it to the show when you invite me. I promise.
What is that?
So it's like chips and shrimp and like spices. Cucumbers. It's delicious. Oh my god, I'm gonna send you a picture. Okay. Fat Boy Michelada and Botana with my boy Junior Banda. He provides the best micheladas and Botana plates for yourself or for a party. He's locally operated, so make sure you get the best and not the rest, darling. Junior, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode. Another one of my new sponsors is actually with Joe Olvera, Inspire Roofing and Home Improvement. He focuses on commercial and residential roofing. He also does 25-year and 30-year shingle roofs and all exterior needs. So make sure you call the number on the screen for any of that work. Joe Olvera, thank you again so much for sponsoring The Public Affair with Inspire Roofing and Home Improvement. I appreciate it. To everybody, thank you all so much for all your support. I really appreciate all the love that you guys give me and helping me make this podcast become where it's at, including to my sponsors and my viewers. Make sure you guys subscribe on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/ThePublicAffair. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook at The Public Affair. And don't forget, darling, to always keep it between us. Cheers to that. I also want to give a shout out to Shane Palacios with Cactus Rock Tamales. He bought me some tamales the other day and they were super delicious. He's got like all these distinct tamales and my favorite was the mushroom and spinach one. So thank you, Shane. I really appreciate it. Make sure you guys check them out at Tacos, Tamales, and Cakes on March 20th from 11:30 to 4 at 915 LaSalle Avenue in Waco. Also accompanying him will be Fat Boy Tacos and Just Your Cakes by Chella. Thank you again, Shane, for the tamales. They were amazing.